Hey guys, so yesterday we went to talk with Johan van Overtveld. He is one of the top politicians in Europe. So in the European Parliament, he is in some major important commissions as well. And we went to talk with him about the crypto regulations, blockchain regulations in Europe that are currently on the table, MiCa, which are of course horrible and they are destroying all innovation, even usage of cryptocurrencies. And we talked with him because we really want to try to do something about these regulations and to show them how horrible they are, to show them that Europe is going to miss the next step of innovation, technological innovation, which is Web3. And with the current regulations on the table, they're going to miss this entirely again, like they missed Web 2 because of the same reason, and they just are going to do it again. But Johan van Overtveld, he is in the same party as one of the two people who designed the MiCa regulations. So we wanted to talk with him first because he has one of the top functions in Europe. And we really wanted to like open new doors from that point, and that really worked. So we had a good part and a bad part. So the positive one was that they understood that this is what is currently on the table is very bad for the innovation, even for everything in crypto and blockchain, because crypto and blockchain are not going away. And I mean, he understood that what's currently on the table is going to destroy all that. I mean, it's not hard to see, right? If every unhosted wallet is going to be de facto banned, there is no possibility to like use any exchange anymore. Exchanges are not going to be willing to implement these regulations and to implement these procedures for AML and KYC. They are not going to verify every unhosted wallet that is doing a transaction to the exchange. So they will not be able to operate anymore, like in a decent way. So that's the first problem. The second problem is, of course, individual investors, their unhosted wallets, so their private wallets, their privacy is actually in danger because if all their wallets is known, it's kept in a database, and sooner or later this database is going to be hacked. That's a fact. This is going to happen, and then like the physical safety from investors, European investors, is going to be in danger. So that's a very important point as well. But aside from that, aside from exchanges who will not be able to operate anymore, and individual investors who are physically, literally in danger because of what's currently on the table. It's ridiculous, by the way. It's also like destroying innovation because no crypto company will be able to start up in Europe. So the same thing is going to happen for the Web3 revolution as we saw for the Web2 revolution. So all startups are going to simply go overseas. They're going to the US, or even like a smaller step, the UK. The UK is doing a hands-off approach. In the beginning, they were also going to implement, or they wanted to implement, harsh regulations, but they changed their mind a few days after the first draft of the MiCa regulations was announced. So that's pretty funny. The timing was pretty funny. And basically, they're going to take away the entire Web3 revolution from Europe. So this is going to happen in the UK, in Switzerland, and in the US, but not in the European Union. It's bad for every party involved. I mean, for every Web3 application, you need an unhosted wallet, a MetaMask, to interact with the Web3 application, right? This will not be able to work. This will not be able to allowed. This will not be allowed even by the current regulations. So it's really, really bad. It is going to destroy everything regarding crypto, blockchain, and the Web3 revolution as a whole. So it's horrible. Now, Johan van Overtveld, he understood that. He connected us to the right people. He connected us to people in charge of the design. We are connected to some other people who are very important for these regards. So he understood that. Of course, on the other side, he had his own opinion about crypto, about blockchain. I mean, that's okay. We had a good discussion. We tried to show him like the real facts, etc. So that is the good thing. The bad thing is that in the meantime, we called to one of these people who he connected us with, and they said that the MiCa regulation is already in a certain stage where not a lot of things will be able to be changed again. So he said that the unhosted wallets part of the MiCa regulations is not going to continue. But he said every transaction that happens from a certain amount of money, we don't know how much yet, but it could be literally like one euro. So basically all transactions then should like be verified, or like a KYC needs to happen on these. So basically it means the same thing. So unhosted wallets will not be banned or like heavily regulated, but the transactions will be heavily regulated. So it's basically the same thing, but it's not good. And I mean, if this is going to continue, then we have a big problem. And I hope that some people are doing something for this, because what we heard yesterday is that basically no one in the European Union is trying to change something. They literally asked us like, hey, do you guys have like an organized lobby group for crypto and blockchain? We said like, no, we're literally like individuals just trying to have some impact. And yeah, that's that. He was surprised. There is no one who is reacting to certain studies that are totally wrong. I mean, on crypto Twitter, you see like reactions to certain studies. You see like reactions to what happens in Europe as well, but nobody's taking action. So really, guys, if you can do something, for example, if you're from Europe and you know like one of these politicians that are in charge of designing everything, let me check his name of the person who is in charge of this. It is Stefan Berger from the EPP. It's a German guy. So I mean, everyone can do something, right? And I'm trying to have my impact. I'm trying to stop these horrible regulations. Otherwise, all crypto investors, exchanges, and companies are going to be hit very hard once these MiCa regulations are going through and are going to be voted for in the European Parliament. So yeah, guys, something needs to happen, and that's really something that we saw again yesterday. Nobody is trying to do something, and the people in charge of designing these MiCa regulations are basically people who don't know anything about crypto, about blockchain. Johan van Overtveld, he told us this little story. It was pretty funny, but also very telling for how things are going in the European Union. So he told us that he was at a certain point in some commission in the European Parliament about crypto and blockchain, not for MiCa, but something else. And that they were like with some reporters on that in the European Parliament who were doing all the research and writing all the stuff. And actually when this commission was over, the other commissioners, so the reporters or commissioners, they came to him and they said like, hey, Johan, luckily you know something about crypto and blockchain, because we didn't at all, and we were just like doing stuff. And then he literally thought like by himself, like, I don't know anything about crypto and blockchain at all, but okay. I mean, that's very telling. They have a certain, he has a certain knowledge of it, but not enough to make regulations. Why are they not consulting people, experts in the field, about all this? I don't get it. They do that in the US, they do that everywhere, but not in the European Union, not in the European Parliament. They're not consulting anyone to like ask like, hey guys, what do you think about these regulations? Is this possible? Or how can we do it in a better way, like without destroying innovation again? But nobody is heard for this, and that's really, really horrible. And it also shows some flaws in not only like the European model or like the European Parliament's model of that, but like in politics in general. I mean, like, yeah, they just ask people who don't know anything about the topic to make regulations about it, and the regulations are actually meant for to be like anti-money laundering and also like anti-terrorism financing. But what will happen here is that the people who want to launder money and finance terrorism, they can simply go around these regulations. So everyone will be hit by these regulations, except for these people, except for the people who they make these regulations for, to stop them. It doesn't make any sense. And that is because of a lack of knowledge, because they don't know any better. But anyway, I really wanted to give you guys this update about this thing that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have my impact here in Europe. I hope some other people take some initiatives too, to go talk to Stefan Berger in Germany, for example, or some other politicians who have something to do with MiCa, and we should try to have some impact somehow, because right now it's not looking good, and this will be a horrible thing not only for the European Union but for crypto as a whole. If this is continuing, if this is getting through, then this would be horrible for the crypto market in total, entirely. I mean, like, I am pro some regulations, some regulatory framework, some clarity, but I'm not pro these type of regulations. There should be a hands-off approach, like the UK is doing, like the US is doing, like Switzerland is doing as well. They're building like a small regulatory framework to work with and to protect these companies and to attract innovation instead of like destroy it. And that is the thing that the European Union is right now doing, unfortunately. All right, guys. So that was it. And I will give you guys an update whenever I have one. Bye-bye.